The bridge of the Galactic Confederation vessel Celestial Explorer was quiet. Only the soft beeping of instruments broke the silence. Captain Jiwoo Park stood with his hands behind his back, looking at the main screen. The stars seemed peaceful today. "Captain, I am picking up a strange energy reading," said Officer Yoonji Song. Her fingers moved quickly over her control panel. "It is coming from Sector 7 near the uncharted planet." Captain Park walked to her station. "What kind of energy?" "I'm not sure. It does not match anything in our database." Yoonji looked worried. Her job was to know everything about energy signatures. This one was new. Dr. Hyun Kim, the ship's science officer, joined them. She looked at the readings and her eyes grew wide. "Captain, that signal is coming from XD-427. That is a Class 15 death world." The bridge went silent. Everyone knew what Class 15 meant. These were the most dangerous planets in the galaxy, planets where the air could melt your lungs, where the gravity could crush most life forms, where the temperature changes could freeze or burn you in minutes. No intelligent life could evolve on such a planet. That was what all the science books said. "Show me the planet," ordered Captain Park. The main screen changed to show a blue and green world. It looked peaceful from space, almost beautiful. Hard to believe it was one of the deadliest places in the galaxy. "The signal is not coming from the surface," said Yoonji. "It is coming from orbit. There is a ship there." "A ship? Near a Class 15 world?" First Officer Do-Yoon Lee stood up from his command chair. "That is impossible. No species would set up a base near such a dangerous place." "Magnify the image," ordered Captain Park. The screen zoomed in and there it was, a massive ship, unlike any they had seen before. It was at least 3 times bigger than their own vessel. Its design was strange, all angles and sections that seemed to serve no clear purpose. It did not match any known species in their database. "Are there life forms on that ship?" asked Captain Park. Dr. Kim ran a scan. Her face showed surprise as she read the results. "Yes, many life forms, hundreds of them, and they are thriving. Their life signs are strong." Security Chief Min Jae-kang spoke up. "This could be a trap. Maybe it is the Vaslarians. They have been expanding into this sector." "The design does not match Vaslarian technology," said Dr. "This is something new." Captain Park thought for a moment. The Confederation rules were clear. When a new species was discovered, contact should be made to determine if they were peaceful or a threat. "Try to contact them," he ordered. Yoonji worked at her station, sending standard greeting message on all frequencies. Minutes passed. The bridge crew waited. Some looked nervous. Meeting a new species was always risky. Some were friendly. Others had tried to destroy Confederation ships on first contact. "We are receiving a response," said Yoonji suddenly. "They are sending a visual communication." "Put it on screen," said Captain Park, straightening his uniform. The image of the stars disappeared. In its place was the face of a being. The crew gasped. The being looked almost like a silicon from the inner core worlds. 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. But there were differences. Its skin was a light brown color. Its eyes were dark. Its face was framed by short black hair. "This is Commander Taewoo Choi of the Earth vessel Horizon," the being said in perfect galactic standard. Its voice was deep and calm. "We have been expecting someone to find us eventually. Welcome to our neighborhood." Captain Park was shocked. The being not only looked almost normal, but it also spoke their language, and it did not seem surprised to see them. "I am Captain Jiwoo Park of the Galactic Confederation vessel Celestial Explorer," he replied. "We detected your ship in orbit around a Class 15 death world. Are you in need of assistance?" The being, Commander Choi, smiled. It was a friendly expression, showing teeth that looked slightly sharper than a silicon's. "No assistance needed, Captain. We are exactly where we want to be. This Class 15 death world, as you call it, is our home planet. We call it Earth." The bridge crew looked at each other in disbelief. Home planet? That was impossible. No intelligent species could evolve on a world with such extreme conditions. I understand your confusion, said Commander Choi, as if reading their thoughts. Perhaps you would like to come aboard our vessel? We could talk face to face. I promise we are quite friendly. Captain Park hesitated. This went against everything they knew about Class 15 worlds. But the scientific discovery would be huge, and the Confederation would want to know about a species that could live in such conditions. We accept your invitation, said Captain Park. I will bring a small team. After the communication ended, Security Chief Kang approached the captain. Sir, this could be dangerous. We know nothing about these Earth beings. They call themselves humans, said Dr. Kim, reading from her data pad. At least that is what their communication signal metadata indicates. Humans, repeated Captain Park. The word felt strange in his mouth. We need to learn more about them. If they really evolved on a Class 15 world, he did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. Everyone understood what it meant. A species that could survive in such deadly conditions would be incredibly tough, possibly dangerous. Prepare a shuttle, ordered Captain Park. First Officer Lee, Dr. Kim, and Security Chief Kang will come with me. Officer Song, you have the bridge. As they walked to the shuttle bay, Dr. Kim spoke quietly to the captain. Sir, if they really evolved on that planet, they must be incredibly strong. The gravity alone would make them twice as powerful as most species. Captain Park nodded. That is why Security Chief Kang is coming with us. Keep your weapons ready, but hidden. We do not want to seem threatening. Their shuttle launched from the Celestial Explorer and headed toward the human vessel. As they got closer, they could see more details. The ship had many weapons, more than would be needed for defense alone. This is a warship, said Security Chief Kang. Or they just live in a dangerous part of space, suggested First Officer Lee. The shuttle entered a large opening in the side of the human ship. Inside was a docking bay bigger than anything they had seen before. Several smaller ships were parked there. All of them looked like they were built for speed and power. As the shuttle landed, Captain Park saw a group of humans waiting for them. At the front was a figure he recognized from the communication, Commander Tae-woo Choi. Remember, Captain Park said to his team as they prepared to exit the shuttle. We are representing the entire Galactic Confederation. Let us show them that we come in peace. The shuttle door opened. Captain Park took a deep breath and stepped forward to meet the beings who had done the impossible, survived on a Class 15 death world. Captain Park and his team stepped out of their shuttle into the docking bay of the human vessel Horizon. The air felt different here. It was heavier, with more oxygen than they were used to. Security Chief Min-jae Kang took a small breath and looked alert. Welcome aboard the Horizon, said Commander Tae-woo Choi. He stood tall, about a head taller than Captain Park. Next to him was a woman with short black hair and a blue uniform. This is our Chief Science Officer, Dr. Ji Yeon-yoon. The woman smiled and nodded. It is an honor to meet beings from another world. We've studied the stars for many years, hoping to find others like us. Captain Park looked around the docking bay. It was huge, at least 3 times the size of the largest bay on a Confederation ship. There were smaller ships lined up against the walls. Each one looked fast and powerful. This was not just a science vessel. This was a warship. Thank you for the invitation, said Captain Park, trying to be polite. I must admit we are surprised. Our scans show the planet below is classified as a Class 15 death world. The conditions there should be too extreme for life. Commander Choi smiled. Yes, your scans are correct. But what you call extreme, we call home. Please, follow me. We can talk more comfortably in our meeting room. The human led them down a wide corridor. Other humans walked past, some in uniforms, others in regular clothes. They all looked strong and moved with confidence. Some looked at the visitors with curiosity, but no one seemed afraid. Your ship is very large, said First Officer Doyen Lee. How many people do you have on board? About 2,000, replied Commander Choi. This is one of our mid-sized vessels. Dr. Kim almost stopped walking. Mid-sized? You have larger ships than this? Dr. Yoon nodded. Yes, our home fleet includes vessels 3 times this size. The Horizon is an exploration vessel, built to go where others have not gone before. They entered a large room with a round table in the center. The walls showed images of a blue and green planet, the Class 15 world below them. There were also images of strange animals and plants, tall buildings, and vast oceans. Please sit, said Commander Choi. Would you like something to drink? Water? Tea? Water would be fine, said Captain Park. He sat down, and his team sat next to him. Security Chief Kang stayed close, his eyes watching every movement the humans made. A young human brought in drinks. The water was in clear cups. Dr. Kim secretly scanned it with a small device on her wrist. She nodded to Captain Park. It was safe to drink. I understand you have questions, said Commander Choi. Let me start by explaining. We are humans from the planet Earth. Yes, by your standards, our world would be considered extremely dangerous. The gravity is high, the weather can change quickly, and there are many natural dangers. But how can you survive there? Asked Dr. Kim. Our scans show temperatures that would freeze or burn most species. The air has chemicals that would be poison to many. Dr. Yoon smiled. We evolved there. Our bodies are made to handle those conditions. What seems extreme to you is normal for us. Captain Park took a sip of water. It tasted clean and fresh. Our records show no intelligent life could develop on a Class 15 world. The conditions are too harsh. Your records are based on the species, you know, said Commander Choi. We are different. Humans developed on Earth over millions of years. We adapted to survive in every climate, from freezing ice to burning deserts. Our bodies can heal from wounds that would kill other species. Our minds can solve problems others would find impossible. First Officer Lee looked at the images on the wall. Your planet looks beautiful from these pictures. It is beautiful, said Dr. Yoon. But it is also dangerous. We have oceans that can swallow cities, mountains that can explode with fire, storms that can destroy everything in their path. And that is just the planet itself. The animals and plants can be just as dangerous. And yet you survived, said Captain Park. More than survived. You built this ship. You reached the stars. Commander Choi nodded. Yes. Because every problem we faced made us stronger. Every danger taught us something new. We learned to adapt, to build, to fight when needed, and to make peace when possible. Security Chief Kang spoke for the first time. Your ship has many weapons. Are you at war? The humans looked at each other. Dr. Yoon spoke first. Not currently, but we believe in being prepared. The universe is a big place. Not everyone we meet will be friendly. That is true, said Captain Park. There are some species in this part of space that are dangerous. The Krell, for example. They raid ships and steal technology. We have warned all Confederation worlds about them. Commander Choi seemed interested. These Krell, they are considered a serious threat? Very serious, said First Officer Lee. They have attacked 3 worlds in this sector. Their weapons are powerful and they show no mercy. The humans did not seem worried by this news. If anything, they looked curious. Tell me more about your ship, said Dr. Kim, changing the subject. Its design is unlike anything we've seen before. The Horizon was built 5 years ago, said Dr. Yoon. It is a combination of exploration vessel and defense ship. We designed it to travel far from Earth, to look for other worlds and other life forms, and to protect yourselves if needed, added Security Chief Kang. Yes, said Commander Choi without apology. We come in peace, but we are not defenseless. Captain Park noticed something about the ship that seemed odd. Your technology is very advanced in some ways, but in others it seems different from what we use in the Confederation. Dr. Yoon nodded. We developed our technology on our own without outside help. Some solutions we found may be different from yours, but they work for us. What brings you to this part of space? Asked First Officer Lee. Earth must be far from here or we would have found it before now. Commander Choi pointed to one of the wall images showing a star map. Earth is about 30 light years from here. We are exploring outward, looking for resources, new worlds, and other intelligent life. We detected signals from Confederation ships a few years ago, but we decided to watch and learn before making contact. Why now? Asked Captain Park. Why let us find you? Because it was time, said Commander Choi. We've learned enough about the Confederation to know you are not our enemies. We believe we can help each other. Before Captain Park could ask what he meant, an alarm sounded. A red light flashed on the wall. Commander Choi touched a small device. On his wrist, what is it? He asked. A voice came from the device. Sir, we've detected 3 ships entering the system. They are moving fast and not responding to communication. They appear to be heading toward the Confederation vessel. Commander Choi looked at Captain Park. Are you expecting visitors? Captain Park shook his head. No. My ship was sent here alone. Security. Chief Kang stood up. It could be the Krell. They may have detected our ship. How dangerous are these Krell? Asked Commander Choi. He did not sound worried, just curious. Very dangerous, said First Officer Lee. Their weapons can cut through most ship defenses. They have acid weapons that can melt through almost anything. They are known for killing crews and taking ships. Commander Choi and Dr. Yoon exchanged a look. It was not fear that passed between them. It was something else. Something that made Captain Park feel uneasy. Then we should deal with them, said Commander Choi. He stood up. Please come with me to our bridge. I think you will find this interesting. As they walked quickly through the corridors of the horizon, Captain Park could not help but notice that the humans did not seem afraid. If anything, they seemed alert and ready. Not a single person looked scared or ran in panic. This was not the reaction he expected from a species facing the Krell for the first time. It made him wonder what kind of dangers these humans had faced on their Class 15 death world that made the feared Krell raiders seem like a minor problem. They entered the bridge of the horizon. It was larger than the bridge of the Celestial Explorer, with more stations and a big viewing screen at the front. On the screen, Captain Park could see his own ship, and beyond it, 3 smaller ships moving fast toward it. Those are Krell raiders, said Security Chief Kang. We should warn my ship. Already done, said a human at one of the stations. We've sent a message to your vessel, advising them to raise shields. Commander Choi sat in the central chair. Let's see what these Krell want. Open a channel. The human at the communication station worked quickly. Channel open, sir. Commander Choi spoke clearly. This is Commander Taewoo Choi of the Earth vessel Horizon. Identify yourselves and state your intentions. There was no answer. The Krell ships continued moving. They never answer, said First Officer Lee. They just attack. Commander Choi nodded. I see. Then we will have to show them that was a mistake. On the bridge of the human ship Horizon, Captain Park watched with growing worry as the 3 Krell ships moved closer. He had seen Krell attacks before. They were fast, brutal, and often deadly. Many Confederation ships had been lost to these raiders. We should return to our ship, said Security Chief Min Jae Kang. They will attack soon. Commander Taewoo Choi shook his head. There is no time. Your shuttle would be an easy target. You are safer here. But my crew, said Captain Park, they are in danger. We will protect your ship, said Commander Choi. His voice was calm, as if he was talking about the weather, not facing a deadly enemy. This will be a good chance to show you what humans can do. A woman at one of the control stations turned to face them. Sir, the Krell ships are powering up their weapons. They will be in firing range in 30 seconds. Thank you, Officer Han, said Commander Choi. Prepare defense systems. Target their engines only. Captain Park was confused. Only their engines? The Krell ships have strong shields. You need to hit them with everything you have. Dr. Ji-yeon Yoon smiled at him. We prefer to start with the minimum force needed. We can always use more if required. First Officer Doyen Lee looked at the human weapons officer. The Krell have acid weapons that can melt through most shields, and their boarding parties are dangerous. They wear armor that resists most weapons. The humans did not seem worried. If anything, they looked interested, as if this was a new puzzle to solve. Krell ships opening fire, reported Officer Han. They are targeting the Confederation vessel. On the big screen, Captain Park saw energy beams shoot from the Krell ships toward the Celestial Explorer. His ship's shields flashed as they took the hits. Their shields are holding at 70%, said another human officer. But they won't last long against continued fire. Time to step in, said Commander Choi. Target the lead Krell ship's engines. Fire when ready. The weapons officer touched his control panel. From the horizon, a bright blue beam shot out. It hit the first Krell ship with perfect accuracy. The Krell ship stopped moving immediately. First target disabled, said the weapons officer. Moving to second target. Another blue beam fired. The second Krell ship stopped moving too. The third Krell ship tried to turn away, but it was too late. A third beam hit it, and it also stopped. Captain Park could not believe what he was seeing. The entire battle had taken less than a minute. The horizon had disabled 3 Krell ships with just 3 shots. No Confederation ship could do that. Their weapons and engines are offline, reported Officer Han, but their life support is still working. We did not harm their crews. Good, said Commander Choi. Now they will be angry. They will try to board us instead. Dr. Kim looked shocked. You want them to board your ship? That is very dangerous. Security Chief Ji-hoon Kwon, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. We are prepared for boarding parties. In fact, we welcome the opportunity to meet these Krell face to face. Commander Choi nodded. Security Chief Kwon will handle the boarding parties. Would you like to observe Captain Park? I promise you will be safe. Captain Park did not know what to say. The humans had just stopped 3 Krell ships without breaking a sweat. Now they wanted to fight the Krell in person? It seemed crazy, but he was also curious. We will observe, he said finally, but from a safe distance. Commander Choi smiled. Of course. Officer Han, you have the bridge. Inform me when the Krell begin boarding operations. They left the bridge and walked to another part of the ship. Through windows in the corridor, Captain Park could see the Krell ships. They were floating in space, unable to move or fire their weapons. The Krell will be desperate now, said First Officer Lee. They will send boarding parties to try to take your ship. They are very dangerous in close combat. Their acid weapons can melt through most armor. Security Chief Kwon did not seem worried. We have dealt with acid before. Some of the plants on Earth produce stronger acid than anything you can imagine. And we have animals that spit poison that can melt flesh in seconds. Dr. Yoon nodded. Our home world has prepared us for many dangers. What seems deadly to others is often just another day on Earth for us. They entered a room with screens showing different parts of the ship. On one screen, they could see a group of humans putting on light armor. It did not look very strong to Captain Park. It was nothing like the heavy armor that Confederation soldiers wore. Your troops need better armor, said Security Chief Kang. The Krell weapons will melt through that light protection. Security, Chief Kwon smiled. This is all we need. Mobility is more important than heavy armor when fighting Krell. At least, that is our theory. We will find out soon. A voice came over a speaker. Sir, Krell boarding pods detected. They are attaching to Docking Bay 3. Thank you, said Commander Choi. Chief Kwon, you may proceed. On the screens, Captain Park watched as the human security team moved into position. They looked calm and organized. Each carried a small weapon and wore the light armor. Another screen showed the docking bay. 5 Krell boarding pods had attached to the outside of the horizon. The doors of the pods opened and Krell soldiers began to come out. Captain Park had seen Krell before. They were tall, with 4 arms and hard shell-like skin. Each arm carried a weapon. Their faces were hidden behind masks that made them look like insects. They were feared throughout the galaxy. The Krell moved into the docking bay looking around for enemies. There were about 30 of them. They moved in a tight group, watching all directions. The human security team waited behind cover. They were outnumbered, but they did not look afraid. Security Chief Kwon gave a signal, and the humans opened fire. Their weapons shot blue energy beams, similar to what the ship had used but smaller. When the beams hit the Krell, They did not kill them, but made them fall to the ground unable to move. The Krell fired back. Green liquid shot from their weapons toward the humans. Where it hit the walls of the ship, it began to melt the metal. "Acid weapons," said First Officer Lee. "Very dangerous." But the humans moved fast. They dodged most of the acid shots. When some acid hit a human's armor, it did not melt through as expected. The armor smoked a little but protected the human inside. "How is that possible?" asked Dr. Kim. "That acid can melt through Confederation battle armor in seconds." "Our armor has a special coating," explained Dr. Yoon. "We developed it to protect against the strong acids found on Earth. Some of our oceans have spots so acidic they can dissolve metal ships. We learned to create materials that can resist them." On the screen, the battle continued. The Krell tried to use their greater numbers to surround the humans, but the humans moved too fast. They jumped higher and ran quicker than Captain Park expected. They seemed stronger and more agile than most species he knew. "Your people move like they are in low gravity," he said. "But this ship has standard gravity." "Standard for you," said Commander Choi. "For us, this is less than what we are used to on Earth. Our home has about 20% higher gravity than Confederation standard. It makes us stronger when we are away from home." The battle in the docking bay was ending quickly. Most of the Krell were down, disabled by the human weapons. The few still standing were backing toward their boarding pods, trying to escape. "Should we let them go?" asked Security Chief Kwan through his communication device. "No," replied Commander Choi. "Capture them all. We want to learn more about these Krell." The human security team moved forward, surrounding the remaining Krell. In minutes, all the raiders were captured. Not a single human had been seriously hurt. A few had minor burns from acid splashes, but they did not seem bothered by injuries that would have sent a Confederation soldier to a medical bay. "The Krell have been secured," reported Security Chief Kwan. "We are taking them to holding cells. Would you like to question them, sir?" "Later," said Commander Choi. "First, let us make sure our guests understand what they have seen." He turned to Captain Park and his team. All 4 Confederation officers were staring at the screens with wide eyes. They had just watched humans defeat one of the most feared enemies in the galaxy with ease. "Now you begin to understand," said Commander Choi. "What you call a Class 15 death world, we call home. It made us strong. It taught us to survive. The Krell are dangerous to you, but to us they are just another challenge to overcome." Captain Park looked at the human commander with new understanding, and with a little fear. If these humans could defeat Krell so easily, what else could they do? The galaxy had just become a much more interesting place. 2 weeks after the Krell attack, a large Confederation ship arrived near the planet Earth. It was the diplomatic vessel Star Messenger, carrying High Commissioner Danby Moon and her team of diplomats and scientists. Their mission was to officially welcome humans to the galactic community. Captain Park stood in the docking bay of the Horizon, waiting with Commander Choi and Dr. Yoon as the Confederation shuttle landed. After the battle with the Krell, he had sent a full report to Confederation headquarters. The news about humans had caused great excitement and some worry. "Your leaders came quickly," said Commander Choi. "They must be very interested in us." "Very interested," agreed Captain Park, "and a little concerned. No new species has ever shown such advanced technology and fighting skills on first contact." Dr. Yoon smiled. "We come in peace. We just know how to defend ourselves when needed." The shuttle door opened, and High Commissioner Moon stepped out. She was tall for a Confederation citizen, with long white hair and formal diplomatic clothes. Behind her came 10 other officials, including scientists and security officers. "Welcome to the Horizon," said Captain Park, bowing slightly to his superior. "Thank you, Captain," said High Commissioner Moon. She turned to the humans. "And you must be Commander Choi and Dr. Yoon. I am High Commissioner Danby Moon of the Galactic A Confederation. I bring greetings from our council." Commander Choi bowed his head. "Welcome, High Commissioner. We are honored by your visit. Please follow us to our meeting room." As they walked through the corridors of the human ship, the Confederation scientists looked around with great interest. They carried small devices that scanned everything they passed. "Your ship is quite impressive," said High Commissioner Moon. "Our engineers are very interested in your technology." "We are happy to share some of our knowledge," said Dr. Yoon. "But I must warn you, our approach to science and engineering may be different from yours." They reached a large room with a round table. Through the windows they could see Earth below them, blue and green and beautiful. It looked peaceful from space, hiding its deadly nature. After everyone sat down, High Commissioner Moon spoke first. "The Confederation Council has reviewed Captain Park's report about your people and your world. We find it fascinating that intelligent life could evolve on such an extreme planet." "What you find extreme we find normal," said Commander Choi. "Earth has shaped us into what we are. Its challenges made us stronger, faster, and more adaptable than we might have been on a calmer world." One of the Confederation scientists, a man named Dr. Junho Bae, leaned forward. "According to our classification system, Earth is a Class 15 death world, the highest level of environmental danger. How did your species survive such conditions?" Dr. Yoon displayed images on the wall screens. They showed Earth's various environments: deep oceans, high mountains, vast deserts, thick forests, and frozen ice fields. "Earth has many different environments," she explained. "Some are harsh, others more gentle. Humans evolved to adapt to all of them. We can live in places where the temperature drops below freezing or rises above the boiling point of water. We can survive in thin mountain air or deep underwater with the right equipment." "Remarkable," said Dr. Bae. "Most species can only survive in a narrow range of conditions." "Humans are different," said Commander Choi. "We don't just survive. We thrive on challenge." The meeting continued for hours. The humans shared information about Earth's history, its plants and animals, and human society. The Confederation team was amazed by the biodiversity of Earth. According to their records, no planet in known space had as many different life forms. "Your world has more species of insects alone than most planets have total life forms," said another scientist. "How do you deal with all the dangerous creatures?" "We adapt," said Dr. Yoon. "We learn which ones to avoid, which ones we can live with, and which ones we need to control." Earth taught us to be resourceful. After the scientific discussions, High Commissioner Moon turned to more practical matters. "The Confederation Council would like to formally invite humanity to join our galactic community. We have prepared a standard treaty that outlines the rights and responsibilities of member species." She handed a datapad to Commander Choi. He read it carefully, then passed it to Dr. Yoon. As they read, their faces became more serious. "This treaty includes restrictions on military vessels and weapons development," said Commander Choi. "It would require us to reduce the size of our fleet and limit our defensive capabilities." "Those are standard terms," said High Commissioner Moon. "All Confederation members agree to certain limitations to ensure peace between worlds." Commander Choi and Dr. Yoon exchanged looks. "I appreciate the offer," said Commander Choi, "but Earth will maintain its independence and security protocols. We have encountered enough dangers in our own solar system to understand the need for caution." High Commissioner Moon looked surprised. "Dangers? What kind of dangers?" There was silence for a moment. Then Commander Choi nodded to Dr. Yoon. She touched a control panel and new images appeared on the screens. They showed strange ships, unlike either human or Confederation designs. "You are not the first visitors to Earth," said Commander Choi. "Others came before you about 300 years ago. They did not come in peace." Captain Park leaned forward. "Another spacefaring species, who were they?" "We don't know their names," said Dr. Yoon. "They never communicated with us, they simply attacked. They targeted our cities, our power systems, our communication networks." "What happened to them?" asked High Commissioner Moon. "We fought back," said Commander Choi simply. "It was difficult. We had just begun to develop advanced technology. We had no spaceships, no energy weapons, but we had 7 billion humans all fighting to save their home world. The images changed to show destroyed alien ships and captured alien technology. In the end, we won," continued Commander Choi. "The aliens retreated. But before they left, our solar system, we captured some of their ships. We studied their technology. It helped us develop our own space program much faster than we would have otherwise. We've been preparing for their return ever since, added Dr. Yoon, or for the arrival of others like them. That's why we maintain our fleet and our weapons. Not because we want war, but because we've learned that the galaxy can be a dangerous place. High Commissioner Moon looked troubled. There is no record of any such species in our database. No Confederation world has reported contact with aliens matching your description. Perhaps they avoided Confederation space, suggested Commander Choi. Or perhaps they don't exist anymore. The implication was clear. If humans could defeat an advanced alien force with primitive technology, what could they do now with their powerful ships and weapons? I understand your concern for security, said High Commissioner Moon after a long pause. Perhaps we can negotiate different terms for Earth's membership in the Confederation, terms that respect your need for self-defense. We would welcome that, said Commander Choi. We seek friendship, not conflict. But we will not compromise on the safety of our people or our world. Captain Park watched the human commander carefully. He believed Choi was sincere in wanting peace. But he also understood now why humans were so cautious, so prepared for danger. They had faced an enemy from the stars and survived. It had shaped their entire approach to space exploration. There is something else you should know, said Dr. Yoon. The ship you're on, the Horizon, isn't just an exploration vessel. It's a test platform for our deep space program. We're preparing to venture beyond the galactic rim into what you call the Dark Expanse. High Commissioner Moon looked shocked. The Dark Expanse? No ship has ever returned from there. The radiation alone would kill any crew. Commander Choi smiled, slightly. For most species, perhaps, but remember, we evolved on Earth. Radiation is just another challenge to overcome. As the meeting continued, Captain Park realized that humanity's entry into the galactic community would change everything. These beings from a Class 15 death world were not just strong and technologically advanced. They had a drive to explore, to push boundaries that most Confederation species lacked, and they had learned early that the universe could be hostile. It had made them cautious, prepared, and more dangerous than anyone had imagined. 3 months passed since the first meeting between humans and the Confederation. During that time, many things happened. Trade agreements were discussed. Cultural exchanges began. Human ships visited Confederation worlds, and brave Confederation citizens took tours of Earth, always wearing special protective suits. The Confederation Council debated what to do about humanity. Some members wanted close friendship with these strong beings from a death world. Others feared them and suggested limiting human expansion through space. Captain Park had been promoted to Admiral after his discovery of humanity. His new job was to serve as the main link between the Confederation and Earth. He spent much time on the Horizon, working with Commander Choi and Dr. Yoon. On this day, Admiral Park sat in a meeting room on the Confederation capital world. Around him were the highest leaders of the Confederation. They had been talking for hours about the human question. We cannot control them, said Defense Minister Woo Jin-cho. Their technology is too advanced in some areas. Their ships are too powerful, and we have seen how they fight. The Krell avoid human ships now after what happened to their raiders, but we cannot simply let them do as they please, argued Trade Minister Min Seo-kang. What if they decide to take resources from our worlds? What if they start a war? They evolved on a death world. Violence might be natural to them. High Commissioner Moon, who had spent the most time with humans except for Admiral Park, shook her head. I do not believe they want war. They are cautious, yes. Prepared for danger, yes. But I have studied their history. They value peace. They only fight when threatened. Admiral Park agreed. In my time with them, I have found humans to be honest and fair. Different from us, yes. Stronger, faster, more resistant to damage, but not eager for battle. Before anyone could respond, an aide rushed into the room. He looked scared. Ministers, we have an emergency, said the aide. Long-range sensors have detected something coming from the edge of the galaxy. A large fleet of unknown ships. They are moving toward Confederate space. Defense Minister Cho stood up quickly. Show us. The aide activated a display in the center of the table. It showed a star map of the galaxy. At the outer edge, a mass of red dots was moving inward. There were hundreds of them. "What are they?" asked High Commissioner Moon. "Unknown," said the aide. "But they are moving as one group, and they are stopping at each system they pass. When they leave, all resources in that system are gone. Planets stripped of metals, suns drained of energy." Admiral Park felt cold fear. "The harvesters," he whispered. Everyone looked at him. "What do you know of this, Admiral?" asked Defense Minister Cho. "The harvesters are old enemies of the Confederation," said Admiral Park. "They come from beyond our galaxy. They appear every few hundred years, moving through our space, taking everything they can. They are not alive as we understand life. They are partly machines, partly organic. They do not communicate. They only consume." "When was the last time they came?" asked High Commissioner Moon. 300 years ago, said Admiral Park. "They destroyed many outer worlds before they were pushed back. It took the combined fleets of all Confederation worlds to stop them. Many ships and crews were lost." The room was silent as everyone realized what this meant. The harvesters were back, and they were heading toward populated Confederation worlds. "We must call all ships back to defend the core worlds," said Defense Minister Cho. "We will abandon the outer systems if needed." "That would sacrifice millions of people," said High Commissioner Moon. "Better millions than billions," replied the Defense Minister. "We cannot stop the harvesters at the edge. We must conserve our forces." Admiral Park thought about this plan. It was the same strategy the Confederation had used before. Retreat, sacrifice outer worlds, and hope to stop the enemy before they reach the core systems. It had worked last time, but at great cost. "There might be another way," he said slowly. "We could ask the humans for help." Everyone looked at him again. "The Deathworlders?" asked Trade Minister Kang. "Why would they help us?" "Because they are explorers, because they value life, and because they are very good at fighting," said Admiral Park. "I have seen what one human ship can do. Imagine what their whole fleet could accomplish." After much debate, the Council agreed to ask humanity for help. Admiral Park was sent to Earth immediately. When he arrived at the human homeworld, he found it buzzing with activity. Ships were moving in orbit. It seemed the humans already knew about the harvesters. On the horizon, Commander Choi welcomed Admiral Park to the bridge. Several human officers worked at their stations, preparing the ship for battle. "You know about the approaching fleet?" asked Admiral Park. Commander Choi nodded. "Our deep space sensors detected them a week ago. We have been watching their progress." "They are called the Harvesters," explained Admiral Park. "They come to our galaxy every few centuries to take resources. They destroy anything in their path." "Yes, we figured that out from their behavior," said Dr. Yoon, who stood nearby. "They show a consumption pattern consistent with resource gathering on a massive scale." "The Confederation Council has sent me to ask for your help," said Admiral Park. "These enemies are very dangerous. More dangerous than the Krell. More dangerous than anything you have faced before." He expected questions, concerns, maybe even refusal. Instead, he saw something unexpected on the faces of the humans. They looked almost excited. "We have been preparing for something like this," said Commander Choi. "Every human child grows up hearing stories about threats from space. It is part of our culture since the first alien attack centuries ago." Admiral Park was confused. "You do not seem worried." "We are concerned but not afraid," corrected Dr. Yoon. "There is a difference. Fear paralyzes. Concern motivates." "Show him the fleet," Commander Choi said to a communications officer. The main screen changed to show Earth orbit. Admiral Park gasped. Dozens of massive ships were gathering there. Some were twice the size of the horizon. All had the angular, powerful design of human vessels. "This is just the home fleet," said Commander Choi. "We have called back all ships from exploration missions. They will arrive within days." "How many ships in total?" asked Admiral Park, his voice weak with shock. "Just over 300 combat-ready vessels," said Commander Choi, "plus support ships and carriers for our smaller fighters." Admiral Park could not believe it. The entire Confederation fleet had only 200 ships, and the humans had kept this powerful force hidden until now. "Why did you not tell us about your full military strength?" he asked. Dr. Yoon smiled gently. "Would you have trusted us if you knew? Some of your council members already fear us. Knowing our true strength might have made things worse." She had a point. Many in the Confederation would have pushed for action against humanity if they had known about this fleet. "What is your plan?" asked Admiral Park. "The Confederation's strategy is to retreat to core worlds and defend there." Commander Choi looked disappointed. "That sacrifices too many lives. No, we have a different approach." He touched a control panel, and the screen showed a star map. "We will meet the harvesters here at the edge of Confederation space. We will not wait for them to come to us." "That is very dangerous," said Admiral Park. "The harvesters are powerful." "So are we," said Commander Choi. "You do not win by hiding. You win by meeting the threat head-on, finding its weakness and striking hard." Over the next few days, Admiral Park watched as the human fleet prepared for battle. Their strategy was unlike anything the Confederation would have planned. Instead of defensive formations, they organized for attack. Instead of retreat points, they established advance bases. When the combined human Confederation fleet met the harvesters at the edge of Confederation space, Admiral Park stood on the bridge of the horizon beside Commander Choi. Around them spread the largest fleet ever assembled in the galaxy. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. The harvesters, used to easy victories against retreating enemies, faced something new, an enemy that charged straight at them. Human ships drove into the heart of the harvester fleet, targeting command vessels and resource storage ships. Confederation captains, trained by human tacticians in just a few short days, supported the attack with coordinated strikes. When harvester ships launched small fighters, human pilots met them in space battles that defied belief. The fighting lasted 3 days. Many ships were lost on both sides. But in the end, it was the harvesters who retreated, their fleet broken, their resources depleted. For the first time in known history, the harvesters had been defeated not at the core worlds but at the very edge of the galaxy. After the battle, Admiral Park found Commander Choi looking out at the stars from an observation deck on the horizon. "You saved the Confederation," said Admiral Park. "Billions of lives were spared because of humanity's help." Commander Choi smiled slightly. "We protected our neighbors. That is what allies do." "Is that what we are now? Allies?" asked Admiral Park. "I believe so," said Commander Choi. "We have fought together. There is no stronger bond." Admiral Park looked out at the stars too. "Your world is very different from ours, very dangerous. It made you strong." "It made us who we are," corrected Commander Choi. "But strength alone is not enough. The galaxy needs both the human drive to face